Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Ay, good afternoon po, ma'am.
Mm-mm.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
Good afternoon
afternoon
po,
po.
ma'am. Good afternoon po.
Okay. Let us wait for the others. Class, if you're using the CCC email account, you don't have to ask permission to join. I just don't know why you're not using it. So that you will be automatically logged in. As much as possible, you have to make use of the CCC account. Ano sa ng attendance niyo? Labor. Okay. Labor. Okay, you're 73 now. You're supposed to be 88. Parang medyo, siguro unstable yung ano nyo.
Ma'am,
Yes po.
ma'am, pwede po ba mag-leave po ako ng 2 p.m. May lang po ako, vaccine po ngayon.
Ah, sino ka ba? May I know who you are?
Maria Elaine Evangelista po.
Evangelista. Okay. Maria Elaine Evangelista. Evangelista. Okay. Saan ka papa-vaccine?
Ma'am, dito po sa po namin. Barangay.
Taga saan ka ba?
Ulango, Kalamba po.
Sa taas ba yun? May lawa ba yun? Not sure.
Apo,
Where's
may
that?
ad po doon.
Okay. Okay. So, let me now start with the discussion of linear equations, solving linear equations. I cannot give you still the answer key to your activity last time. Pero by next week, I'll be providing you the answer key and the check papers. Okay? Kasi may mga late na nag-submit. I just don't know how LMS will be able to record it kasi hindi nag-submit through LMS. Hindi ko alam kung ma-validate yon. So, I just hope this time medyo ma-facilitate ang ating discussion. I'll be going back to the discussion of the first lesson kasi we did not discuss, we're not able to finish the discussion of this lesson. Kasi hindi ako ready. Bakit para nag-hang siya? Wait lang ha. Hindi siya nag-move dito sa presentation. Ano kaya nangyari? Wait lang. Presenting. Stop presenting. And then present. Again, nag-hang siguro your entire screen. Share. Nag-ano siguro. Nag-hang. Let me check. Ay, okay. Okay na. Okay. So, in our previous meeting, we were able to start discussing yung basic principle of system of linear equations. So, linear equations are equations that have graphs that are linear, lines, referring to lines. Kaya lang when you say system of linear equations, marami siyang equation. Hindi lang ito isa o dalawa. It can be just a simple line. Pwede siyang plane for as long as makikita nyo sa equation na nasa first degree siya. So it can be a plane or a line. Okay, so the general rule here is to make use of this equation. AX1, this one, pence. Ayan, gagamitin ko na, medyo marunong na ako. This one, that is a general form of linear equation. A1 plus x sub 1 plus A2, x sub 2, and so on up to an times x sub n equals b. So, this is a linear equation wherein A1 to AN are constants. Coefficients yun. Diba sa linear equation, you have coefficient. Generally, diba, dito kayo familiar. MX and pens. This one. MX plus B equals, equals Y. That is a simple linear equation. So M is the slope, B is the coefficient, X is an independent variable, and Y is the dependent variable. Okay. So, yan yung pinaka basic na linear equation. It's just a line. However, we expanded that into a multiple of x's kasi in reality, we're not always dealing with a simple line. We're dealing with planes. Okay, so marami siyang, ang tawag dito, infinitely many lines. Infinitely to form a plane. Kaya, ito yung general equation. Ayan. And this is just one plane. Pwede siyang multiple of many planes. So, generalize siya into this R linear equations with n unknowns. When you say n unknowns, yung x1 hanggang x sub n. Kasi yun naman talaga hinahanap natin, values ng x1 hanggang x sub n. Okay. Sabi dito, there are 3 kinds of solution. In your activity, meron tayong independent and consistent solution. you were able to find the values of x, y, and z. But there are some problems wherein you cannot find unique solution. Po pwedeng walang solution o po pwedeng many solutions. If there is a unique solution, it means that, andito yung sa dulo, to generalize it, you have consistent and independent solution. Sa problem ninyo, in the future, yung mga activities natin, you will be asked whether a solution is consistent and independent, inconsistent and independent, consistent and dependent. So in your activity, you have or you were able to get a consistent and independent solution. So unique yung values ng X, Y, and Z. Okay, I just noticed that hindi ko pa na-check lahat, pero nino-note ko yung mga kaklase o sa yung mga estudyante sa klaseng ito na ginamit yung method of substitution. Method of elimination, yung ginawa ko. Kasi meron akong sinend sa inyo na answer key to solution or practice set. Tapos yung iba, nag-stick pa rin sa substitution. Just hindi ko naman maintindihan kasi yung lesson natin is about finding a solution using only elimination method. Kasi elimination method will be used consistently doon sa matrix operations. Pag hindi nyo kabisado yung elimination, nahirapan tayo. Kaya ang ina-apply lang natin ay elimination. I agree that you can also find a solution using substitution and even graphical, pero hindi yun ang kakailanganin sa matrix operations. That's why we need to stick with the use of elimination method. Pag magaling kayo doon, for the most part of this course, magiging magaling kayo sa matrix operations. Okay? In the meantime, I'll be considering yung mga solutions ninyo which you use the substitution. But as much as possible, actually wala na siyang gamit in the next lessons. Kaya sayang lang yung effort ninyo to understand again the method of substitution. Okay, and then we have the inconsistent and independent solution or no solution at all. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi kayo makakakuha ng X, Y, and Z values. Ewan ko kung may illustrations dito. Itong example number 2. This one. Okay, nag-eliminate dyan. Unfortunately, nag-arrive siya dito. 0 equals 21. That cannot be kasi 0 will never be equal to 21. If you got this, ibig sabihin nun, there is no solution or inconsistent and independent solution siya. Hindi naman po pwedeng, this does not follow a certain logic, math logic. O kaya siya walang solution. Pag ganun, ang sagot ninyo for that system of linear equations, walang solution, no solution, and no inconsistent and independent solution. And then we have example number 3. You have consistent and independent solution. Number 4. Nire-review ko lang yung past lesson natin, ha? So this one. Nakakuha siya ng y using elimination y equals z minus 4. I'm sorry class hindi na detalyado yung discussion kasi I am assuming na alam nyo na to because you did an activity already about method of elimination. Tingnan nyo to, y equals z minus 4. Tapos pagdating sa x, ang x nyo equals z plus 4. Okay? So, yun yung yung x and y. If you have those x and y values, ipalitan nyo dito, gamitin nyo to, yung original equation, say for example, ito. Sabi dito, ang x nyo is z plus 4. Dali ha, tingnan kung kaya ko. Z plus 4 plus 2 times, ang y natin is z minus 4 minus 3z equals negative 4. So what will happen if you try to solve the left-hand side of the equation? Mangyayari dyan. So you have z plus 2z minus 3z is 0. Diba? Maka-cancel na to. Z plus 4 plus 2z minus 8 minus 3z. Ay, hindi. False negative 4. So, maka-cancel na si z. Kasi 3z minus 3z is 0. So, negative 4 equals negative 4. So, hindi ka makakuha ng unique value of z. However, it is consistent. Ibig sabihin nito, it has many possible values or many possible solutions for this linear equations. Dito sa system of linear equation natin. Okay? Let us take a look at this. Tingnan nyo to. If we try to take, for instance, z equals 1 and replace or plug in z equals 1 to the original equation, you will get x equals 5 and y equals negative 3. Kapag naman ang z nyo ay negative 2, you also have another set of values for x and y. So, any value that you could possibly think of that z can take, you have unique values of x and y. So, therefore, since consistent naman, it's logical, then therefore, we have many possible values for, or many possible solutions for this linear equations. Okay? Dito sa system ng ating, or system of linear equations. So we call this solution as consistent and dependent solution. We're talking about the same plane. Diba yung sa line, kapag ang line nyo perpendicular, for instance, ito yung common solution. Yun yung gitnang yun. Kapag ang line nyo ay hindi nagdidikit parallel lines, ang tawag dyan, inconsistent and independent solution. Hindi kasi magkocross yan eh. Tatlo yan. Never silang magkocross. Walang common value ng x. Ma'am, sorry na walang po ng internet. Okay. Admit. Ala, ayaw, naghang yata dito. Okay. Now, ano naman yung consistent and dependent? Halimbawa, ito yung line nyo. Sabi, line. Yung isang line ninyo would be on the same line. Parang ganon. Iisa lang siya actually. Ganon. Ito yung third solution. Ito, unique. This one is unique solution. This is pag parallel lines or parallel planes, wala tayong solution. Dito, infinitely many solutions. Kasi lahat ng points na yun, solution eh. So, nag-intersect sila or nagko-cross sila. They have common values of x. X's. Questions, class? Before I proceed, Jether. Hetalvo. Dito ba si Jether?
Opo, ma'am.
Oh, may question ka ba?
Wala po, ma'am. Okay naman po.
Okay, good. Present na si Jether. So, yun. Eto, practice set pa rin to. Meron naman akong solutions dito, but I'll be sending it to you na lang. No? Hindi na natin to iisa-isahin pa. Okay? Kasi mamimiss natin yung second lesson. But this is okay, meron ng solution to. I mean, meron ng parehas ba tayo ng okay. Kagagawa ko lang yan, kaya lang ayoko nang i-discuss in detail. Basta ang alam ninyo that there are 3 possible solutions whenever you solve systems of linear equation. Ganon din sa matrices ha, 3 rin yung possible solutions. And medyo may style lang siya in identifying whether it has a unique way of presenting yung 3 kinds of solutions. Let us proceed to lesson 2. Ito, promise ko, ibibigay ko yung solution nito. Kasi tomorrow, you'll have another activity. Now, we have matrices. Nakaka-jump na ako. Thank you kay yung nag-recommend ng Kaya lang hindi PowerPoint. Maghahang yung aking isang aking isang laptop. Okay. This lesson gives us an idea that matrices will enable us to write linear systems in a compact form that makes it easier to automate the elimination method. Kasi medyo tedious ang paggamit ng elimination method. Kapag pati matrices, you can use mga apps. Basta tama yung identification nyo ng mga entries sa matrix. Pag mali, edi ganon din yun. You'll not be able to find correct answer. And in this lesson, we will be learning how to operate or how to apply operations on matrices. Alam nyo, parang algebra lang yan eh. Kung nakalimutan nyo na yung mga properties ng algebra, specifically doon sa mga solving linear equations, may hihirapan din kayo sa matrix. So you have to be able to recall. May mga konting may mga konting do you call this konting differences lang kasi nga we're dealing with multidimensional set of variables. Okay? By the way, ano bang application nito sa IT? Noriel.
po, ma'am.
Yes, Noriel. What do you think is the application of matrix to IT, to your course?
Wala pa po akong idea regarding sa matrix kasi po yung napag-aralan kong linear is yung standard form, which is EX plus BY is equals to C po. Kaya di pa po ako
Okay.
masyadong familiar sa matrix.
Okay. I understand, Noriel.
Okay
Just
po, ma'am.
raising.
Sige po.
Thank you, Noriel. Sino yung nag-raise ng hand? Si John Lloyd. John Lloyd Banyados.
Testing lang po, ma'am. Wala
Yes,
po naman po
John
medyo
Lloyd.
background, ma'am. Pero
Huh?
tingin ko po ma-enhance niya po yung namin. Problem solving skills po.
Yes. Very good. Totoo naman, talaga. Pero alam mo, yung sa graphs, yan, may enhance yun. Yung ability nyo to make programs about graphs, yun ang gamit niya, yung matrices. Kasi multidimensional yan eh. You cannot just simply use two-dimensional. James Ryan. Yes, James Ryan.
Ma'am, ano po? Pang statistics po ba yan?
Yes, oo. Oo, multivariate. Pwede siya sa Mr. James. Good. Mga multivariate analysis sa forecasting. So, kailangan yan. Ma'am, good afternoon po. Magpapaload. Okay. Sige, thank you, James. Tama. At saka, sa linear programming, ginagamit to. Yung linear programming, yung maximization, optimization, minimization, mga ganyan. And it has, talaga varied applications. Lalo na sa inyo kasi kayo IT. Yes, yes. Sino? Mark Vincent.
Ma'am, ginagamit po din po siya sa Java language.
Oo,
Program.
yes. Sa programming nga, yes. Kailangan nyo yan. Kasi nga multidimensional yung ating alam mo, yung lahat ng inaral natin requires many variables. Kaya multidimensional. Yes, Mark Vincent, ma'am. Maano nyo to? You'll come across with these matrices as you go, as you tawag dito, grow in your program. Maalala nyo tong matrix at kailangan naiintindihan nyo to. Okay, thank you. At ano ba ang ating objective dito? You'll be learning matrix and the elements, determining the elements in each row or column, and be familiarized with the different definitions that involves matrices. Solve problems by applying the different definitions of matrices. Not just definition, but also yung recalling the properties of algebra, na algebraic expressions. Okay, so ito yung unang definition ng matrix. Ang matrix kasi, as I been telling you, it's a multidimensional. So, kapag ganon, marami siyang mga variables. And, since we're dealing with systems of linear equations, yung mga coefficients niyan, yung mga constants niyan, ang dami-dami din. Depende rin sa dami ng linear equation. So, in this case, let me define to you what matrix is all about. So, let's call this matrix A. So, A is an arbitrary symbol. You can use any letter in the alphabet to represent your matrix. So, yung matrix natin dito, napaka-simple lang. Hindi pa tayo gumagamit ng mga Greek letters na symbol. Okay? At ang size ng matrix is denoted by more often than not, M by N. Okay? Ang size ng matrix. So, if we have a matrix, ito yung ating And these are the rows. Ayan, yan. 1, 2, up to A sub n. I'm sorry, A sub m. Okay? Number of rows here is actually m. Ayan, m horizontal rows. Kita nyo yun? A sub 1, 1, A sub 2, 1, up to A sub m, 1. Yung second column, A sub 1, 2, A sub 2, 2, up to A sub m, 2. Okay? And then the last column, A sub 1, n, A sub 2n, up to A sub mn. So, to symbolize yung each entry in a generic way, it is called A sub ij. A sub ij is placed in the ith row and in the jth column. Okay? Ith row and jth column. So, ilan namang columns meron tayo? We have, how many columns do we have? We have n columns. Ito, isa, dalawa, jth column, and column. Okay? So, the size of this matrix is m by n. M is the number of rows, and n is the number of columns. So, if we take the ith row, nandito yun. It's somewhere here. Ayan. Ang laman daw niyan is A sub I1, A sub I2, up to A sub IN. Nandun si A sub IJ. I'm sorry, A sub IJ. And then, the jth column, palitan natin ito. Okay, jth column would be this one. Ay, mali. Ayan, jth column. Anong laman nun? A sub 1j, A sub 2j, A sub mj. Okay? So, jth column is, mali ito. This is supposed to be 1. Okay, ang jth row, the ith row would be from 1 to m. Ang jth column should lie from 1 to n. This is supposed to be 1. Hindi ito ito 1 to. Ay, nililito pa akong gumamit ng, yan. This is supposed to be 1. Ayan, mali siya. Okay. And then, paki-correct na lang sa nyo, sa kopya ninyo. We shall say that, okay, kapag naman, meron tayong tinatawag na square matrix. Pag square matrix, it should be M equals N. Okay? Dito, nasa ng square matrix nyo? Gilbert. Dito sa ating mga examples, nasaan ang square matrix? Dito ba si Gilbert Habanya? Wala. Absent si Gilbert Habanya. Absent. Yes, Ronalyn Sotero.
Di po, ma'am. Di.
Ayun, si Gilbert. Si Gilbert. Wala. Walang audio. Oo, send lang. Ganyan,
Ay, tama, narinig na pa.
Ayun, okay. Si Gilbert, na-mark ko tuloy na absent. I'm sorry, si Gilbert, ano doon sa, ito, A, B, C, D, E, F.
Ano po?
Ano dito ang square matrix?
Square matrix.
Sabi ang square matrix should be M equals N.
Mamay lang. Ma'am, hindi po ba yung B?
B?
Ay,
Yes, good. It's B. Tama. Oo. Thank you, Gilbert. Good. Sino pa? Sino yung nag-recite kanina? Hindi ko na-call
Opo,
yung...
ma'am.
Gemma? Ay, I'm sorry.
Sotero po.
Sotero. Yes, Sotero. Ano pa?
D po. Letter D.
Yes, this matrix D. Tama. Kasi, yung M nito is 3. Ang N is 3 also. Equal yung number of columns and number of rows. Okay? Alam niyo sa physics, ginagamit din ito. And representing vectors. So, yung pag sinabi mong n vectors, may direction yan. It's still, a matrix. But anyway, hindi pa natin masyadong bibigyan ng, ng focus. But, in passing, pwede natin, sabihin na, if we have a 4 vector, ang vector kasi, we use this in physics Sa mga pang-engineering ang program. So, pag sinabi kong n vector, you have only a 4 by 1 matrix. Yung 4 by 1. Ibig sabihin, you have 4 rows and 1 column. Okay? O pag 3 vector, ayan, 3 lang yung entries niya. It's a 3 by 1. Ganon ang n vector, ha? So, mga susunod na lessons natin, tatry tayo mag-solve ng physics problem, yung mga word problems ba. And also, in electronics, ito, yung application niya, yung nodes and vertices. Okay? Ito, mga edges to. Yan. Edges yan. Ginagamit yan sa sa engineering. Erase ko muna. Mali ang ginamit ko. Okay. Tingnan nyo yung na-create niya. It's a matrix. Highlighter. Ito yon. Matrix. Pag nilagay natin sa yung definition natin ng matrix, it becomes A equals, ito yung laman niya. Kinopya ko lang to, ito. Kinopyang kopya lang yan. We call this incidence matrix. Okay, so some of those possible examples or applications ng matrix. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Tingnan nyo. Ano ba, P1 to P1, 0. Yung edge niya, wala. Point lang siya. Kapag P1 to P2, ito, this one, pagkuhin ko nga ito. P1 to P2, this one, this edge, nire-represent nito, yung one na to. There is an edge, there is a line connecting P1 and P2. Again, ang tawag doon sa mga points na to, P1, P2, P3, P4 are vertices or nodes. Sa geometry, alam niyo yan. Okay. Yung mga vertex, sa angle may vertex. Kaya mga lang yun, yung corner points. Now, yung P1 to P3, wala namang line connecting P1 to P3. Walang ganyan. So, therefore, it is represented by 0. P1 to P4, wala ring line, di ba? So, 0 siya. So, lahat lang ng may 1, yun yung nagko-connect. P2 to P1, meron. P2 to P2, of course, wala. It's just a vertex. P2 to P3, merong line. Ito yon. So, that's why it's 1. But in reality, may direction pa yan. Parang vector. Kapag pa-right, positive. Pag pa-left, negative yung movement. So, in this case, wala naman siyang direction. Kaya madali namang aralin yung o i-represent ng value ang connector. Halimbawa yung P4 to P3. P4 to P3, there is a line connecting between P4 to P3. So yung edge na yan is represented by 1. So it's an example. We call this an incidence matrix. Ginagamit to sa tag doon, ang closest path sa linear programming. Nako, maanuhan nyo to. Pag naggawa kayo ng program about yung finding path, closest distance, and so on. I-represent nyo ng matrix yon. That is also studied under linear programming. Na-encounter nyo yan. Okay. So, ano ang mga operation sa matrix? Two M by N matrices A equals, nirepresent lang ng ganito ha, para hindi masyadong malaki yung ating notation. B is represented by this. Kapag equal daw yan, B, if A sub ij equals P sub ij, then we say that the two matrices are equal. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng entries nila equal. E di, the two matrices are equal. So, example of this, ito. A and B. 1 to negative 1, 2, negative 3, 4, 0, negative 4, and 5 are the elements of A. If we can show that W is equal to negative 1, ito daw ay equal dito. At ang X natin ay equal sa negative 3, and Z is equal to 5, then we say that the matrices are equal. Ibig sabihin na lahat ng entries nila equal, edi equal sila. Anong tawag doon sa algebra? We have reflective, di ba? Reflective equations. Parehas na parehas. Equal na equal siya. And then we have the addition. How do you add matrices? Halimbawa yung A and B matrices, i-add natin. Siyempre, let us be consistent. Yung first entry sa A, i-add mo sa first entry ng B. Second entry to the second entry of B. Dapat same sila ha, same location. And this one, 3 is A sub 1, 3. At ito, it's B sub 1, 3. I-add nyo yun. Yan, na-add nyo. Yan, ganun ha. Ganun din sa baba. That's how you add matrices. And so, therefore, you have the sum of matrix A and matrix B with this entries 1, 0, 1, 0, 4, 3, 2, 0. Okay, ganun mag-add. And dapat parehas sila ng size. Anong size nung A dito? It's mark. Anong size nung matrix A? Dapat mabilis tayo doon sa pag-identify ng size. Mark Manaig.
Po, ma'am.
O, anong size nung A?
Size.
In terms of M by N. O, i-replace mo lang yung M at saka ng N ng actual numerical values.
Wait lang po, ma'am.
O, anong size ng M? Erase ko nga to. Oh, ang galing no. Nakaka-erase na ako. O, ano?
Ang ano po, ma'am,
Ha?
5 equals 5 po, ma'am.
Ito, size ng A. Yung M by N, di ba ganun ang matrix size? Yes? Mark, Manaig. Nasaan na si Mark? Wala na si Mark. Nag-choppy na. Mark, are you still there? Wala na si Mark.
Oh, ma'am.
Oh, yes,
Ayun.
Mark.
5 equals 5 po kasi yung ano ko, ma'am.
Size. Anong size ng A?
3x 3 po, ma'am.
3 by?
3 by 3 po.
Mali. Yung A ha? Mali. Let me call on sino yung nag-erase? Vince Francis Asis.
Ma'am,
Oh, anong
ayun
size?
po yung, di ba ma'am, yung J at pati I at po. Bali po kapag, 2 by 3 po.
Yes,
Or-
correct. Oo. 2 by 3. Yun lang ang gusto ko. Pag sinabi kong
Thank you
size
po.
ng matrix. Thank you, Francis. This is 2. Ayaw niya. Hirap naman ito. It is 2 by 3. Bakit 2 by 3? O, 2 rows, tapos 3 columns. Yung B, ganun din, 2 by 3. So, ang sagot nyo, dapat 2 by 3 din. Ganon kapag ina-add natin. Okay? When we take the sum of A and B. Okay? We merely add corresponding entries. Okay? C sub ij becomes A sub ij plus B sub ij. Okay? Ganon ang addition, corresponding entries. Hindi ka pwedeng maligaw. Then we go to multiplication. Kapag scalar multiplication class, ang multiplier natin is scalar lang. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya matrix. It's a single value. Okay? Pag nag-multiply ka ng matrix niyan, lahat tong nasa loob, iisa-isahin nyo, i-multiply nyo. See, you have negative 2 times 4, negative 2 times negative 2, negative 2 times negative 3, and so on. Lahat, pati sa baba. And you'll get this product. We call this scalar multiple of A. Okay? So, it's not sensitive to the size of the matrix. Kahit ano yung dimension ng matrix, basta scalar lang ang magmumultiply, it's all right. So, basta R is a real number. Thus far, addition of matrices has been defined for only 2 matrices. Our work with matrices will call for adding more to matrices. Theorem, bakit ganito? So, it shows that addition of matrices satisfies the associative. O pag daw may addition kayo, ito dapat next next line na. Pag nag-a-add kayo, tandaan ninyo yung associativity law. Okay? Basta equal yung sizes ng i-add nating matrices. Supposing we are going to add A, plus quantity B plus C equals A plus B quantity plus C. So, associativity property yan. Okay? If A and B are M by N matrices, we write A plus negative B as A minus B and call this the difference between A and B. So, when you subtract matrices, it's just the same as adding matrices. Kaya nga lang, instead of directly writing A minus B, we represent that as the sum of A and B. Minultiply lang ng scalar quantity na negative 1 si B. Okay? Minultiply natin ng real number si B. So that's why it is also referred to as the sum of two matrices. Importante na alam nyo to kasi may proving din sa matrices, just like in algebra. Yes, may question ka, Christine Joy? You're raising your hand. Christine Joy, Cholata.
Ma'am, kanina po ata yun.
Okay. Pwedeng siguro, di ba, parang i-press mo ulit yung raise hand na no?
Ay, sorry po, ma'am.
Kasi hindi siya nawawala. It continues to call my attention. Okay. Pati si James. James, may question ka ba? James Ryan.
Kanina pa po yun.
Okay. Press the ulit, raise hand, para mawala. Ayun. Oo. Kasi nag-aano siya sa screen ko. Okay. Nasaan na tayo? Ayan, A minus B. O, gano'n na. Yung corresponding entries niya, 2 minus 2. Ayun yan, o. Again, ang size nito is 2 by 3. Pati ito, 2 by 3. Dapat ang result nyo, 2 by 3 din. Yung size it's M by N. Okay? Sum at saka difference. Excuse me. Now, the transposition, importante ito, yung tinatranspose din to. Puro operations muna tayo. Okay? Paano nyo tinatranspose ang matrix? So, yung M by N, this one, M by N should become N by M. Meaning, your rows become your columns. Halimbawa, you have this. Ano yung A natin dito? Ang A natin ay, anong size niya? Gabriel, anong size niya? Nasakit na ulo mo dyan, Joseph, ha?
Minsan pa, ma'am.
Gabriel.
Sa A po?
Yes, oo, yung A.
Ma'am,
Gabriel Domen, di ba? Domen.
2 by 2 po. Sa A po ba? Ito po bang
Itong
sa taas?
A. Ito.
Sa taas po. 2 by 3 po.
Nito? 2 by 3, okay. Kapag tinranspose mo, anong magiging size niyan?
Pag transpose po, 2 by 2 po.
Hindi.
Tama po ba?
Ito,
Saan po
2
ba?
by 3, tama. Pag daw ito'y tinranspose,
Saan
anong
po?
magiging size? Ayan itatranspose natin Anong size ng
doon
A
po.
transpose? Saan, Gabriel?
Hintay lang po. Ma'am, 3 by 2 po.
Yes, 3 by 2. Ayan yung number of columns natin or number of rows, 3 na. Ang columns nyo, 2 na lang. Oh. Okay. So, binabaliktad din from, pag tinranspose nyo yung A sub J, it becomes A sub Ji. You should not lose its true identity. It becomes A sub Ji. Kasi tinranspose na nga siya. So, it is no longer A sub ij. Okay? So, ganun yung transposition na. So, the transpose of A is actually N by M. If we talk about size, pinabaliktad nyo. The rows becomes the columns. And vice versa. Okay? So, nandito naman yung mga example natin. Let's take a look at E. Anong size ng E? Jeff Dulay. Jeff.
Ma'am, ano po? 1 by 3 po. 1 by 3 po.
Come again? Yung E.
1 by 3 po.
Ilang rows ba yon? M by N eh.
Ma'am, N by M po.
M by N to, di ba? O.
Asan
Ano
po,
dito? Number of rows sa E.
Ako nga po, 1 by 3 po, ma'am.
Number of rows is M.
1 po.
Anong 1? Mali ka.
Column pala yun. Ano pala, ma'am?
Oh,
Three pala,
ano?
ma'am. 3
Oh,
pala,
ano?
ma'am.
Ha?
3 po.
3 by?
3 by 1 po.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Ang kala ko
And,
kasi nasa taas, ma'am.
ha?
Kasi ayun po yung may bilog nasa taas.
Ito ah?
Opo, kala ko po yan.
Oh, 3 by 1 nga yan eh. Ano ba sagot mo? Ito, iba na yan. Oh. Ano ba sagot mo dito talaga? Oh, ito. We're talking about this.
Hindi, yung nasa taas po. Nalito
Ano
lang
nga? 3 by 1 yan.
3 by 1 po.
Oo. Ayan, may recitation ka tuloy. Yuri, Tangalin. Yuri.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, ano naman tong e-transpose? Ano magiging size?
Edi ano, ma'am? Edi
What?
1 by 3.
Okay, ay salamat naman po. Okay, thank you, Yuri. Very good. Oh, ganun lang ang transposition na papalitan nyo lang. Pagbabaliktarin nyo lang yung yung rows at saka columns. Kailangan nyo kasing matutunan yan when you multiply. Try this. Naku, may try this na kayo dito. Okay. Ayan, no. It is supposed to be a practice set. Did you do this ahead? Hindi. Hindi pa. Okay. To summarize this, M by N matrix A is a rectangular array of M by N real or complex numbers. So, pag real, baka kasi ma-confuse kayo, ito lang yun, real yan. Pero pag complex, yung nakakakita ka ng equation, yung kanina, nasan ba yung example natin kanina? Tiyat natin. Ito, complex yan, Hindi na real number. Meron ka nang nakikitang mga simple equation sa loob. So, yan lang ang ibig sabihin nitong sa summary natin. M and real or complex numbers arranged in M horizontal rows. Ito yun. 1, 2, up to M rows at saka N vertical columns. Tingnan niyo yun. 1, 2, up to N. So, N columns yun. So, we say that two matrices are equal if yung A sub ij niya and B sub ij are exactly the same for as long as I goes from 1 to M and J goes from 1 to N. Okay? Now, how do you add? How do you get the sum? At saka yung difference. Yung pagkuha ng sum nila at saka difference, dapat parehas silang both M by N matrices, parehas ng size. So that you can add their corresponding entries, A sub ij plus B sub ij. Okay? You merely add corresponding entries. Yun yung sum. Kaya hindi na nilagay yung difference kasi it is also a part of the sum. Ina-add mo lang yung A plus negative 1 of B. John Lloyd Banyados, may question ka?
Wala po, ma'am. Kanina na po. Hindi ko lang po.
Okay. I-ano nyo lang ha. I-click nyo ulit yung raise hand. And then, we have scalar multiple. Kapag may real number R na imumultiply, ayan, R, you have to multiply the entries of A by R. Each of the entries. Dapat lahat sila. And then we have transpose. Okay. If A is M by N matrix, then A transpose becomes N by M matrix. Okay. So, dali pa, no? Nandun pa lang tayo. Now, supposing we have this. Try this daw. Can you solve this now? Siguro yung kaya lang ano yun eh. May yung first 3 to answer this. Kaya nyo ba?
Ma'am, sasagutan po sa papel.
Oo. Kaya nyo ba? I-recite lang naman after you have solved it. Recitation. Can you solve this? Yung number 1, madali lang naman. Jeff Dulay, you're already,
Mama po.
Na-solve mo na?
Hindi, ma'am. Hindi naman na kailangan eh.
Hindi na kailangan? Are you
Opo.
sure?
Opo, ma'am.
Ano yung A mo?
Ano pala, ma'am? Di bali na, ma'am.
I-find mo yung A, B, C, and D dyan eh.
Hindi, kala ko ma'am magkakaiba ng letters.
Okay. Banalate na si Kurt. Can anyone do this? Just raise your hand pag makuha nyo. Kala ko meron ng sagot eh. Ako nagsasagot din. Yes, Christine Joy.
Ma'am, isa-substitute lang po, di ba, yung mga value nung 4, 6, 10 to dun sa A plus B, ganun po, di ba?
Oo, equate mo. Halimbawa, A plus B equals 4. C plus
Sige
D
po, ma'am.
equals 6.
Try po ako. Ako po, ma'am.
Pwede niyong i-apply ang Yuri, Tangalin. Did you get that? Yes.
Ma'am, may answer po
Yes,
ako.
ma'am. Ay, may answer daw po. Siya po na.
Sige, ikaw muna. Sino nga yung kausap ko kanina?
Christine po.
Christine, what? Your surname, please? I'm sorry, nawala ako. Christine
Christine Diolata po.
Gelata. Okay. Sige ah.
Yung A ko po is 4, tapos yung B ko po is 6. Yung C ko po is 10, tapos yung 2 ko po is D.
Okay,
Tapos,
A is 4.
Ay, apo.
Ulit ulit. A is 4,
B
B is
6,
6.
C is 10, C is 10, 2 is D.
Okay, if your A and B are 4 and 6, hindi masasatisfy yung AB, A plus B. A plus B is only equal to 4.
Okay po.
Yes, Yuri.
A po 3, B 1, C naman po
Okay.
8, ang D naman po negative 2.
Okay, ang C is
8 po. Ang D
8.
naman po negative 2.
D is negative 2. Okay, i-check natin ha. Sabi ni Yuri kanina,
Ang A po 1, ay 3.
okay, 3
A
ang
po,
A,
B
and
po
B
1.
is 1. Tapos C is 8. D is negative 2 minus negative 2. Ay, sandali. Actually, tama siya. Erase natin. Erase. Hirap magsulat eh. Pens. Sabi ni Yuri, ang A niya is 3 plus 1, yun ang B. C is 8 minus negative 2 ang D. And then C is 8 plus negative 2. Hirap naman magsulat. Oh. Erase ulit. Erase this one. Ulit. This is sensya na, mahirap magsulat. Negative 2. Ayan. And then, plus yan. Tapos sa baba natin ay A is 3 minus 1. Okay. Pag sinolve nyo yan, yung entries na yan, you'll get 3 plus 2, 4 is 1. 8 minus negative 2 is 10. 8 minus 2 is 6. 3 minus 1 is 2. So, tama yung solution ni Yuri. Tapos binigay ko pala yung score mo sa iba, no? Galing mo yun. Yeah. Okay. Paano na-solve ni Yuri? Sige nga, paki-explain nga paano yon. O, sabi ni Mark. Sige nga.
Nag-isip lang po ko ng number.
Talaga to. Actually, masosolve niyo yan by using substitution. Okay, erase natin. Sabi niya, paano yun? O, talaga to si Yuri. Mabilis siyang mag-isip. Tama naman. You can jump right away to your answer without actually dali naman talaga eh. Kasi maliliit lang yung numero. What if you have bigger values? What if you have complex entries? Hindi pa complex yan eh. Okay, you have A, 10. Okay. A plus B equals 4. You solve for A. A equals 4 minus B. Okay. Lahat ng may AB doon, i-apply niyo yun. Diba? You have this, yung A minus B, using this one. A minus B. A is 4 minus B minus B equals 2. You cannot use this. No. Sorry. Apply natin ulit. Pens. Wag to, madidelete yung ano natin eh. Ano, you can use system of linear equations. Tingnan natin ha. You have A minus B. Madidelete din siya. Equals to A minus B. Okay, A minus B. And then A minus B equals 2. Cancel na yun by elimination. Yes. Joel, Malakaman.
Hello po.
Yes, Joel.
Yung sagot ko po is B equals to 1, A equals to 3, C equals to 8, and D po equals to negative 2.
Oh, so may multiple solution. Yes. Come again, Iho. A equals?
3 po.
Sandali, kunin ko ulit yung name mo. Mawawala ako. Ano nga? Joel. Am I talking to Joel? Malakaman?
Yes po.
Ang lakas naman ng iyong music. Si Joel. Okay. Sige, Joel. A is?
3 po.
3. B is?
D po is 1.
Okay. C is?
8 po.
8. D is?
Negative 2 po.
Okay. Parehas kayo ng sagot ni Yuri. Ano? What did you use?
Opo. Pero nag-ano po ako. Nag-solve po.
Yon, may elimination just like this. Diba? So you'll get A equals, bakit 6 dito? A minus B, A plus B. 2A. 2A. This is 6. So A equals 3. Tama? Ito? Are you following? Okay. So kapag may A ka na, makukuha mo na yung B. Diba? In the same manner that, ganun din sa C and D. So therefore, B here equals, if A is 3, gamitin lang natin yun, yung A plus B. So therefore, laki kasi ng sulat ko, hindi kasya. Liit ng board ko. Okay, so B is therefore equal to, gagamitin mo lang naman to eh. Okay. Pero mas tama yung ginawa mo, bilis na pangalan mo. Joel, tama? Kasi, gumagamit ka ng elimination. Dapat may formula. Dapat merong solution. So, B therefore is equal to 1. Ayun o. Gamitan mo lang to, yung first equation. Replace A by 3. Okay? Ganon din ang gagawin nyo dito sa C minus D at saka C plus D. Elimination method din. Ayan, yan. Okay? Pero dapat, pag gumawa kayo nun, meron na tayong solution nito ha. A is 3, B is 1. Okay. Pag erase natin to. Erase. Anong oras na ba? Okay, we still have time. Nasaan to? Mark, Robert, yes, meron kang question?
Ay, ma'am, may suggestion lang po ako dun sa pag-erase nyo po. Pwede nyo pong i-drag yung inyong cursor para po mabura nyo po ng marami.
Ganun ba?
Opo, pwede nyo pong i-drag.
Ay, oo nga, no. Sorry, Ang na-practice ko lang yung isa-isa eh. Thank you.
Opo,
Sino ka nga ulit?
Mark Robert Morota po.
Morota. Thank you, Mga IT nga kayo. Hindi kasi ako IT eh. Thank you, Mark Robert. Ay, salamat. Kaya mo nahirapan ako dun Okay, we have, eto naman yung C plus D equals 6. C minus D equals 10. I-eliminate natin si D. We have 2C equals 16. Therefore, C equals 8. O yun. And then, how do you get D? Gamitin lang natin kahit ano dyan, di ba? Yung C plus D equals 6. So, therefore, D equals 6 minus 8. D equals negative 2. Okay? So, tama yung sagot nila Yuri kanina. Kaya lang si Yuri hindi gumamit ng ng solution. Ang bilis lang niya mag-isip. Okay? Na-forecast niya. May talent. Alam mo yung mga engineers, ganyan mag-isip eh. Hindi masyadong gumagamit ng long method. Gusto nila shortcut. Anyway, basta tama ang sagot. That would be acceptable. Questions, class? Ganun pala yun. I didn't know. I-delete ko ha. Practice. Kasi iniisa-isa ko ganaganyan ko. Ganun pala yun. Okay. Ayan. Meron na naman akong bagong skill. Erasing what I have written by dragging the cursor. Oh, meron kayong question, class? Eto, alam nyo ba to? Kaya nyo bang gawin ito? Eto, this one. Can you do this?
Hindi po.
Hindi pa. Bakit walang let?
Ano po example?
Okay, itong letter A.
Ma'am, mayroon tanong ako, ma'am.
Yes.
Yung sa letter C po, saan po nakakuha yung T? T po ba yun? Yung sa naka-raise.
Which one?
Ito po sa C po, pati D. Yung naka-raise po na T. T po ba yun? So 7.
Letter D, ito?
Opo. Yung naka-raise po.
Isolve nyo muna itong nasa loob. And then saka nyo itatranspose.
Transpose.
Oo, transpose lang naman yan. It doesn't, parang hindi siya a real number that, you have to evaluate. Hindi siya real number. It's a notation. Itatranspose nyo. Unahin nyo muna yung nasa loob.
Okay po.
Pag halimbawa, nakuha nyo yung transpose ng B, saka nyo i-multiply ng 3, tapos saka i-minus yung 2A, then take the transpose of it. Ganun lang siya. Hindi yung nagdi-distribute or nag-multiply by itself. Hindi ganun yun. Okay? Ganun din sa letter C. Ito. Get the transpose of A first before taking its transpose again. Sige, halimbawa, madali lang naman ito kasing A. Kaya nyo ba ito? Halimbawa yung A nyo, 2C minus 3E. Gagamitin nyo itong mga data na to. Ito ulit, erase to. C minus 3E. So, yung C dito, multiply nyo ng 2. So, yun, multiply nyo ng 2. So, therefore, it becomes 6 minus 2, 6. Hindi pala minus 2. Kundi, this is supposed to be negative 2. Negative 2. Tapos, 8, 2, 10, 4, 2, 6. O, yun yung bagong matrix nyo. This is 2C and then 3E. Ito, multiply nyo ng 3. O, ganun din yun. So, therefore, 3E equals 3 times 2 is 6, negative 12, 15, 0, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3. O, yun yun. And then, saka nyo kunin yung difference. Okay? 2C minus 3E is therefore equal to 6 minus, ano ba to? 6 minus 6 is 0. Negative 2 minus negative 12 is 10, and so on and so forth. Ganun lang yun. This would be your final answer. That's how you are going to solve numbers 4 and 5. Yung number 2 naman, madali lang din. We're just following yung number 1 dito. Okay? I want you to do it if you want, ha? It's not graded kasi nagamit na to last sem sa module. Okay? For you to have a practice of it, you get a feel of what you are supposed to do in your next activity. And this is quite short. So, bibigyan ko lang kayo ng yung period ninyo, asynchronous period nyo na 1.5 hours in solving the problems that I am going to upload. Okay? Naintindihan ba ninyo? Ngayon, wag masyadong malaki yung file. Di ba? Bakit yung iba nahihirapang mag-upload ng file? Pag scanned copy naman, nagko-convert yun sa PDF. Tama ba? And you can reduce the quality. Yung iba pa nag-scan, naghihiwa-hiwala yung pages. Di ba pwedeng yung multiple ang ni-scan nyo, tapos contained in one file? Kasi yon yung mga concerns nung nag-upload ng sagot. Minsan sobrang laki ng file. Does anyone here how to can you suggest to your classmates kung paano ginagawa yun?
Ma'am, kasi po, ma'am, pag binago po yung quality, lalabo po yung
Okay. Pero pag naka-PDF naman, hindi. Ano ba larger file? Yung naka-JPEG or yung naka-PDF?
Depende po yun sa laman ng file, ma'am.
Okay. So, pwede rin namang in Word format, di ba? Huwag mong picturean. Can use the Excel, tag dito, Office, spreadsheet. Mas madali nga doon Siguradong accurate yung sagot nyo, kung tama yung entries. If you know how to use some formulas in Excel, I will consider it. Kaya lang pag yung written exam nga, hindi na kayo makakapag-Excel syempre. I mean, pag yung major exam kasi multiple choice yan usually ang ibibigay sa inyo. Less of yung mga problem solving. Okay? So, pwede naman yung, di ba, sa Word or sa Excel, maliit lang yung file nun. Kaysa mag-picture kayo. Pero kung yung iba, mas komportableng isulat. Ako kasi mas gusto ko sinusulat ko You have the idea kung paano ako magsulat naman. Parang nasa classroom talaga tayo. Okay? So, minimize yung quality. Sasabihin ko naman kung medyo malabo, pauulit ko sa inyo. But for now, hindi pa ako nag-check kasi mayroong mga hindi nakapag-submit and I am going to consider those answers na hindi nakapasok during those during the allotted schedule, allotted time. I'll be considerate doon sa first activity. Yes, Odeline.
Ma'am, ako po isa lang po yung naipasa ko kasi po hindi po kinaya nung MB.
Okay.
Bali, hindi ko po naipasa yung number 2, number 1 lang po naipasa ko.
Okay. Naiintindihan ko yun. I'll take note of that. Pero sa lang yun sa first activity, I might not be that lenient anymore kasi unfair naman doon sa ibang marunong nakaka-comply. Yes, Noriel?
Ma'am, ganun din po sa akin. Hindi ko po napasa yung pangalawang file ko.
Yung pangalawang page, gano'n.
Apo, ma'am. Kasi po 2 files po yun.
Okay. No problem with that. Basta na ipasok doon, na-upload sa LMS kasi not yet sure kung yung hindi nakapasok, yung no uploaded file at all, baka mamaya hindi ako makapag-encode ng score ninyo sa LMS kasi walang uploaded file. Kasi nag-a-appear doon automatic delinquent kayo. Pero kung may isa kayong, at least yung katulad ng mga case nila Noriel, merong isang page na na-upload, okay yon. Pero yung sa iba na talagang hindi nakahabol kahit a single sheet, hindi pa ako sure kung paano i-adjust yun sa LMS. Okay, sabi ko nga sa inyo, LMS is not flexible. Teachers are, but not the LMS. Kaya hanggat maaari, mag-load kayo. Yung iba na nagkamali ng niload kasi ang dami yung activities. Ibang answer sheet ang na-load, I'll consider it. Okay? Basta i-email nyo lang sa akin yung totoong answer sheet nyo for my subject. Yes, meron pang concerns? Hindi na ako makaka-check ng attendance. But of course, may mga recitations na I was able to take note of that. Yun lang attendance, wala. I see 88 students logged in. Okay, pero hindi naman kayo lahat 88 kasi 3 yung account ko naka-log in. Yes, Ivan Gongora.
Ma'am, may tanong lang po.
Yes.
Doon po sa sinagutan ko po kasi yung number 2. Tinaray ko lang po. Yung number 2 po, yung
Okay.
find A, B, C, and D. Tama po ba
Okay.
yung yung A equals 0, B equals 2, C equals 1, D equals 2?
Ay, sorry wala akong answer key pa dyan. Di ko pa
Ay, okay
nasa-solve. Oo, but we can communicate by yung exchange of emails. Ay, yun nga, emails. Pwede tayo mag-communicate yan. Consultation naman Nagbigay ba ako consultation hours? Hindi, which do you prefer? Yung time na gusto nyo, yung magkaroon tayo ng consultations if you have problems with the subject. Anong preferred time nyo? Free time nyo? Yes, Ivan.
Ma'am, paggabi po para wala po kaming ginagawa.
Paggabi?
Mga 7 po, mga ganun.
Naku, patulog na ako nun. Ano ba yan? Bakit 7?
Mahirap
So, pwedeng Friday? Wala, may klase kayo ng Friday?
Meron po.
Oh, everyday may class kayo?
Opo, ma'am.
Yung iba lang po.
Opo.
Yung iba po.
Thursday, ma'am.
Okay, ganito na lang. Mag-iwan lang kayo ng email. I-email nyo don't make use of messenger. Ina-avoid natin yun. Kasi pag email, nababalikan ko yung for the entire SEM, nandun lahat yung yung concerns ninyo. Yes, Ivan.
Pwede pa po namin ispasa yung B?
Oo, sige.
Class
Go
activity.
ahead. Oo. Pwede.
Through email po?
Yes, oo.
Thank you po.
Okay. So, yung mga hindi pa nagpapasa is still accommodating.
Ma'am, pwede po humingi ng email nyo.
Oh, yes. Eto, hindi ba kita? Hindi ba meron akong email sa CCC? You don't, check. Wala ba akong nalagay na email? May nakakapag-email sa akin, Okay, anyway, EV Eximiniano. Parang yung mga emails nyo rin at ccc.edu.ph. Okay. Pero yung iba nakakapag-message sa akin using FB Messenger. Okay lang din yun. Kaya lang natatabunan yan, unlike yung email, mabilis kong mahanap. Kung may mga concerns kayo. Okay? Lahat ng concerns nyo, ilagay nyo ng lahat. Maganda kasi pag nasisave ko siya. Pag messenger, yung mga pictures, mga files, nadidelete ko kaagad. Yung email hindi automatic nakalagay sa siya sa Google Drive. Okay? O hindi iyan ang activity nyo ha. I'll be giving you another one. But I'll be sending the answer key to this practice set. Okay. I thank you very much for attending my class. It's already 2:30. May klase na ako eh. Bye-bye na
Thank you
muna.
po.
Okay, see you next
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Okay, okay.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
You're welcome po.
Thank you po.
I love
Thank you.
algebra.